Brought to you by
My Airtel app, the smart way. Download today on the App Store or the Google Play Store.
A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight with me, WADULO, Mark Arnold. And without further ado, let's get straight into tonight's bulletin. To start off, Uganda's Jacob Kiplimo has completed a roller coaster 6-year period during which he won a juniors gold at the World Cross Country Championship in 2017, silver in the seniors category in 2019, and has now won the gold medal. In 2023 World Cross Country Championship hosted in Bathurst, Australia, Jacob Kiplimo ran a tactical race and only went ahead emphatically in the final lap of 5. Along the way, he reduced Ethiopian Beru Aregawi to the silver medal, and his counterpart Joshua Cheptegei, who started as reigning champion, finishing in the bronze medal position. The women's senior race was won by Kenya's Beatrice Chebet after Ethiopia's Gidey, who had the finish line in sight, collapsed within 15 meters away. The Ugandans in that race performed pretty well, with Stella Chesang, Doreen Chesang, Rispa Cherop and Marceline Chelengat finishing 10th, 11th, 16th and 32nd to win Uganda a medal. In the juniors men race, Uganda's Dan Kibet finished 4th, with Kenneth Kiprop and Hosea Chemtai completing 6th and 11th respectively in a race won by Kenyan Ismail Kirui. The women's junior race was won by Ethiopia's Senayet Gitachu, and the Kenyans won the mixed relay. And now bringing you to current affairs, states within the East African Community region will now adopt tax administration systems to harmonize tax policy program digital services. Digital Services Tax, which has been in Kenya only, is now among the 18 resolutions adopted and shall be applied in the remaining EAC states. Saddam Obale with a report.
East African Revenue Authority Commissioners General Meeting has resolved to adopt 18 resolutions presented during a 2-day meeting for Commissioner Generals from 7 East African states to help in harnessing domestic tax revenues within the region. The committee agreed to adopt tax administration systems to harmonize tax policy programs within the East African states, support one another in cross-border recovery of taxes.
The first resolution was on having a common tax administration system and a common data governance policy across the region. This is for the obvious reason that technology is very expensive, but also this technology should be domesticated and managed efficiently. So we shared how every country is running its tax administration system, and we agreed that going forward we should work together to find the most suitable solutions for tax management not only for today, but even for the future. And we have tasked our team of experts, the commissioners in charge of this area of IT, and the IT subcommittee of this forum, to work hard and get back to us within 1 month's time on how we shall proceed together on this front.
All East African states will now adopt a uniform digital service tax that has only been in Kenya. And this would mean that business activities done on internet will have to pay a tax. But for this to be realized, member states will submit the proposal to responsible ministries in respective governments for seconding and enacted into law through the Act of Parliament.
The Kenya Revenue Authority shared with us the experience in what they've been able to achieve by collecting digital services tax at a rate of 1.5. And after listening to the experience, we agreed that when we go back, we make recommendations to our respective governments, our heads of state, on enhancing and improving the tax rate for digital services. And our recommendation will be 5%, so that it is comparable to the other taxes that we charge the resident businesses within our countries.
Insecurity along borders and other challenges relating to smuggling shall also be tackled through drone surveillance, an increase on deployment of security operatives to monetize porous borders to minimize smuggling.
So we are deploying drones to help us in that kind of exercise. In Kenya, we have already started procuring those drones, very highly technical drones that will help us surveil those expansive borders and have what we call pointed interventions. We are also going to enhance the deployment of our staff that we have at the borders to ensure we have adequate staff at the borders. Of course, you are aware we have deployed scanners to ensure that we can see whatever is coming in and going out.
The government of South Sudan has put the policies in place to secure the borders. And I think these policies, always when there is an incident in the border, South Sudan and Kenya and Uganda, immediately the inspectors of police of the two countries will contact themselves and they will meet.
The Secretariat from the respective revenue bodies within the East African region have now been tasked to work on expedition on how the resolutions shall be implemented. The 51st East African Revenue Authority Commissioner General's meeting will be held in August this year to reflect on performance and implementation of the resolutions. Sada Mubale, UBC News.
Well, let us know what you think about the thought of the Secretary General, 5% on digital tax. Anyways, the Senior Presidential Advisor on Diaspora Affairs, Ambassador Abi Walusimbi, has saluted President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for setting up the presidential initiative on skilling the girl, boy, child project in Kampala City. Ambassador Walusimbi lauded the president while at Mutundwe Skilling Center as trainees showcased the different vocational skills they have gained during their 6 months of free training. Let's have a look.
The Senior Presidential Advisor on Diaspora Affairs, Ambassador Abi Walusimbi, has said President Yoweri Museveni has empowered the youth, unlike some leaders who are bent on misleading them. He was speaking at Mutundwe Skilling Center as trainees showcased the different vocational skills they have gained during the 6 months training.
Eno presidential initiative ekoze yakafulumya abaana abasukka mu mutwalo ogumu n'ekitundu bannange ekyo kitono ekyo si kitono bannange nsaba tukwatira wamu ne president nga bwe mpulidde wano abaana be boogedde admin Chancellor Nakitta agambye nti wano tuwelekaminga buli muntu tusebeza buli muntu ekyo kikulu kino abantu bakikuba nga Dr. Katana bwagambye nti bakikuba ndi mu parliament n'awalala ekyo kya Museveni akira kya bululu nedda ng'omwana bwe yabagambye nti bamugamba nti oyo asaba ID basaba ndagamuntu baagala bululu nedda ayagala abaana bafulume bagende beekolere okusinga babeera ku nguudo nga bazunga buzunzi takyagala.
He thanked the president for establishing the project which has provided the vulnerable youth with free education. Ambassador Walusimbi further urged the leadership of Kampala Capital City Authority to stop harassing and arresting the youth who are struggling to sell their finished products within the city.
Naye tugenda kusaba kesisi ereme kusanga abaana baffe nga bali muki batambuza obugate bakole ki ate bakwate bakubeeri basuula eri bano abaana bazzukulu ba pulezidenti abataddemu ssente batandike oluvannyuma bajja kusobola okusasula emisolo n'ebirala byonna.
The Special Presidential Assistant for Education and Skilling Project Head, Dr. Faith Katana, commended the instructors for having done a good job in training the beneficiaries. She was also optimistic that by the time the learners leave the center, they will be having the knowledge to move in the right direction as far as being business-oriented is concerned. Dr. Katana, on the other hand, warned people against idle talk that does not produce positive results. She said that their task was to change the mindset of the youth, and she was glad that their efforts have yielded positive results. Dr. Katana also advised the beneficiaries to use their acquired skills to be job creators so that they can create employment for others as well. The administrator of the center, Ms. Jane Nachito, commended President Yoweri Museveni for initiating the project that has benefited hundreds of unprivileged youth in the ghettos of Kampala. The beneficiaries were trained in different courses such as hairdressing, embroidery, tailoring, knitting, weaving, shoemaking, bakery and confectionaries. Several students gave testimonies on how the Skilling Center has transformed their lives into useful and productive young citizens. A total of 500 students were enrolled in August 2022 and are expected to graduate in March this year. They will be awarded with certificates from the Directorate of Industrial Training.
And in more news tonight, 2 government-founded primary schools in Mayuge district, Busoga sub-region, have received scholastic materials from Chinese donors to help them in their learning. The donors also awarded 2 learners who sat for their PLE finals at these schools last year with scholarships for their 4 years at all level. They believe that through empowering learners, Busoga sub-region will transform from the long-standing poverty levels. Let's have a look.
The chairperson of Busoga Education Initiative, Agnes Kadama Kalibala, has successfully lobbied for learning materials for selected areas in Busoga sub-region.
Mwebazo mukyalo ono n'omwami ono kuba n'abatuwa scholarship yetujja okuwa omwana ono ow'okusatu mu isomero lyammwe okumutwala mu Viva International mulinza okuwa ebintu ebyo byonna ekikuweeseza kusikiriza bano bayino bonna bakole.
We are also encouraging parents in this region of Kalagala to ensure that they get their children into school and to also engage in economic activities.
Some of the materials are sanitary pads for girls, geometry sets, chalk, cups and so on. Beneficiaries are from Buula and Kalagala primary government schools in Mayuge district.
Scholastic materials, they are not enough. We still need more.
Zongo Shwanga Kwani and Lini Yu also awarded scholarships to 2 candidates who sat for their primary living examinations last year, 1 from each school, and they will study at Viva College International School Wailaka throughout the ordinary level.
Aggregates musanvu nebaza abasomesa baife abatusomesa n'abazaire bange abasobola okumpa byenali neetaaga
kuba abantu abafayiri abaana baife kubanga nga batubagera abaana baife tubageyalire nitubagayo ne babanga bajja bamukufumbirwa nga bakali nga bakola ki.
I'm feeling very happy and the community too is going to be very happy.
Donors elaborated on why they put much emphasis on empowering Busoga sub-region to bridge the poverty gap.
We are here because this region, we know it's the poorest region in Uganda. Secondly, in this region, many people are not get a chance to go to school. They are dropped area from the school.
When school started, we realized that after pandemic, there are so many challenges for the poor families. Students has no study material, they don't have school fees, and also because of the poverty, they even cannot afford the food.
To also pledge the total support to those in need.
We found a lot of people, poor people from a village, they need their education. That's why we come here, we try to assist them to get, because they come to school, they are be hungry and they don't have the necessary thing.
When I was young, I worked very hard so that I can make more money. So when you already have enough wealth, you will think about what else we can do for this world. So that's why we always say the first step is make your wealth free.
The two also pledge the total support to those in need. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
The Member of Parliament for Buyanja East constituency in Kibaale district in Bunyoro sub-region, Dr. Emily Kugonza, has condemned the vice of homosexuality and lesbianity that is increasing in the Ugandan schools. This was at a function in Busese sub-county, Buyanja East Kibaale district, where best performers were appreciated. In a bid to boost education in Kibaale district, private and government schools head teachers, supervisors and pupils who performed well in 2022 PLE examinations have been awarded prizes, namely mattresses, bed covers, books, certificates among others, by the area Member of Parliament Dr. Emily Kugonza. While speaking, Kugonza says the aim of appreciating the people is to encourage them in education.
And in this way, we've been able to generate competition that is very positive, so that our children can first of all appreciate education, and they know once it is rewarded it's something that is valuable.
There has been a lot of support by parents. The children, the head teachers have put in a lot of efforts, including our stakeholders, the political wing. Like today we are here for the awarding ceremony, which is also helping these learners which is inspiring the learners.
However, Kugonza appealed to the head teachers to concentrate on educating pupils and students and condemned homosexuality that is being said to be more in schools.
The government needs to come out aggressively to provide this in all the spaces, the media spaces, TV, radios, print media, and also through policy and maybe information, education, communication materials to be sent out there to the different schools so that people may be able to know. And also to kind of already early warning signs to see what is it that we must be looking out to, what probably would be the conduct. If somebody probably is inviting you, is a teacher inviting you to go to his home and all that, late at night or just privately, you don't have to accept. And also schools to also come up with probably extra guidelines in terms of regulations to kind of bar certain activities, certain movements at different times.
Parents, pupils and head teachers who performed well have requested the government to always think about schools in villages by providing them with all requirements needed in the education system.
The call to education is collaboration, to work together with the parents to make sure that they set systems also in their schools. Of course, these systems we are using to excel, government has set, but also to empower the teachers.
And also I thank our area MP for Buyanja East constituency, Honorable Dr. Emily Kugonza, who has given us mattresses to appreciate our children for the performance they achieve.
In another related story, Dokolo woman Member of Parliament Cecilia Timogwal has also warned teachers against promoting unnatural behavior in their schools. Ogwal was awarding the best PLE performers in Dokolo district and said that schools are now a target for homosexuality in the country. She also asked the government to provide free sanitary pads in schools and implement school feeding programs to improve the academic performance of their students.
Veteran legislator Cecilia Ogwalas joined many other leaders, including the president, in preaching against what she describes as satanic behavior.
As a district,
she warned teachers against the promotion of this unnatural behavior in their schools.
I've been doing my own investigation. I found that in Dokolo we still don't have it. So I want you schools to promise me that it will not infiltrate our schools. This thing called homosexuality will not infiltrate our schools. If it does, the teachers will be held responsible.
Ogwal was recognizing and awarding those who excelled in the recent PLE examinations in Dokolo district. She handed over at least 150 mattresses and 150,000 shillings to each student that made Dokolo proud in the recent UNEB examination. The best girl from every district in Lango sub-region was also awarded.
Because the girl is helping the mother with the baby, the girl is helping the mother to cook, the girl is helping the mother to clean the house, and we the mothers are very happy to make our girl child work as our housemates. That's why I get annoyed. If my mother did that to me, who would be helping this man?
Recognized was also a 15-year-old orphan who scored aggregate 9 from a rural school in Dokolo district, but her future still hangs in balance.
I have only my mom, which she cannot afford to pay my school fees. If somebody can help me, it would look so good. Because I came from a poor family.
I know matwesuko nudo ateta muni ginada watim keriche na momioni uberme willow box in her box repair.
She is a member of the church choir, very active. She can run and she has certificates of running. In class, she's very active and she leaves very early to go to class and comes back late at night. She's self-driven. You direct her a little and she does more better than you expected.
The district inspector of schools says although the district's performance is improving, absenteeism and parent support remains a big challenge.
Like I was in Tayao, there were just out of 1,200 students whom we expected to report by Tuesday, the beginning of the term, they were just 76. And Agwata Primary, the same story. Pupils were very few. Moved to a school like Adagneko, there were barely just 3 pupils on the second day. So it is across the district.
The government should become a bit serious about school feeding so that we should start giving our pupils at least 1 meal a day, and the girl child must get free sanitary towels.
UBC News.
The large volumes of plastic that are poorly disposed into the environment on a daily basis adversely affect soils, water flow, wildlife, and their habitat. Now, though dangerous to the environment, manufacturers still choose to use plastic over other materials because they are low cost and durable, making them very adaptable for different uses. Let's take a look at this story.
Coca-Cola Beverages Uganda, through its initiative, Plastic Recycling Industries, has partnered with Stanbic Bank Uganda to reduce plastic waste from polluting the environment. Speaking at the partnership event at Plastic Recycling Industry in Nakawa, Kirunda Magola, the Coca-Cola Beverages Uganda Public Affairs, Communication and Sustainability Director, highlighted that waste management is a collective effort that requires stakeholders to come together. The partnership provides an opportunity for Stanbic Bank to identify designated collection spaces that will serve as plastic waste collection centers around Uganda. Present at the launch was the National Environment Management Authority Corporate Communications Manager, Naomi Karekaho, who applauded Coca-Cola Beverages Uganda and Stanbic Bank for working together.
plastics value chain, and that's what we are inviting you to do. Importantly, and as a personal note, is we have a national strategy. So before we go into negotiating these long-term treaties, there are things that countries must do. You must have an action plan. You must have a national strategy.
The chemical structure of most plastics renders them resistant to many natural processes of degradation, and as a result, they are slow to degrade. To address this, Coca-Cola Beverages Uganda and Stanbic Bank have agreed to facilitate those involved in collecting this waste from the environment. Through initiatives like this, Coca-Cola Beverages Uganda will play its part in delivering on Coca-Cola's global ambition of making 25% of packaging reusable by 2030, collecting for recycling the equivalent of 100% of packaging sold, and creating packaging that is at least 50% recycled material by 2030. Mary Namkose, Deogracious Habimana, UBC News.
Now, the students, friends, parents, and all boys of St. Lawrence schools and universities, or rather all boys and girls of the St. Lawrence schools and university, have applauded the late Professor Lawrence Mukiibi for laying a foundation to Uganda's education sector. This was during the first memorial lecture of the late Mukiibi held at St. Lawrence University, Rukiga in Kampala.
On 28th May 2017, death robbed Ugandans of a prominent educationalist, also the proprietor of the chain of schools and university. The late Mukiibi is remembered for his contribution towards education in Uganda. In recognition of his significance towards Uganda's education sector, people from different walks of life who included professors, family, friends and well-wishers participated in a memorial lecture in tribute to the late Mukiibi.
Those children who are in this school like now, who are at the university, grab that opportunity.
Professor Augustus Nwagaba, a consultant on economic transformation, hailed the late Mukiibi for his contribution to educating Ugandans.
Of course, it is an investment commodity. We invest in education to be better in your community, to bring your father and mother to be better people. That's what Professor Mukiibi was emphasizing, to be clean.
A team of private school owners represented by Dr. Sarah Nkonge asserted that Mukiibi will be remembered for starting a harmonization ideology between private school owners and government.
We personally emulate, although we cannot reach the extent of what he did, but he left a legacy which we are following. Professor Mukiibi was a mentor of most of the private schools, and he was a voice. He took us to His Excellency, the President of Uganda, when we had issues of taxes, when we had issues of licenses.
Dr. Richard Semakula, a son to the late Mukiibi, promised to fulfill the late Mukiibi's commitment to fostering good education through sponsoring needy children.
So much into charity because he was a product of charity. If charity wasn't there, we wouldn't have built all these schools. And we are forever grateful to all those hands that really handled Mzee, picked Mzee from nowhere, educated him. That assistance that he got from the late Bernard Kakinda, he also decided to give back to the society since he was a product of that. And that's why we are educating over 200 students by bus. We give out bursaries which are over to many students, over 200 students standing. And the whole campus called the Academy of St. Lawrence was built purposely by him for the sake of looking into people who are financially not good, but they have scored, they have excelled in academics.
The memorial lecture in honor of the fallen educationist comes as St. Lawrence University waits to hold its 13th graduation ceremony Thursday next week. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
I personally am a product of St. Lawrence schools and colleges. Now, the newly installed Ndejje University Vice Chancellor, Reverend Canon Professor Olivia Nasaka Banja, promises to work with all stakeholders to re-envision and grow Ndejje University into one of the leading Christian-based education institutions in Uganda. Now, the new Vice Chancellor Olivia Nasaka Banja has made this promise at her installation ceremony as the new Ndejje Vice Chancellor at a ceremony held in Ndejje University main campus, Ndejje Town Council, Luwero District.
To pray and follow God and His leadership as you execute your duties on a daily basis.
I do promise so with the help of the Holy Spirit.
Congratulations.
The new Vice Chancellor, Reverend Canon Professor Olivia Nasaka Banja, says she will fulfill her task by implementing the university's strategic plan for 2017 to 2027. This plan envisions, among others, strengthening niche programs for the university, especially engineering and sports science, and implementing all the development and delivery of new programs such as medicine, law, and building entrepreneurial skills in all new programs.
We shall strategically focus on strengthening the university image with Christian-based values and ethos, integrating of faith and service among students, faculty, staff, and university community, and in all university programs. That is to focus on the moral stand, and chaplaincy will take central position in this university.
Outgoing Vice Chancellor Professor Eria Bulugujo appreciated the commitment at the university that enabled him to scale greater heights during his 10-year tenure.
Double clapping to Professor Eria Bulugujo in recognition of his great contribution to the university. And we give it to him in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And here's the key. All right.
The installation ceremony was performed by the Chairman, Board of Trustees, Bishop Eridadi Nsubuga.
The International University of East Africa has installed former Kenyan Cabinet Secretary Dr. Amina Chawahir Mohammed as its second Chancellor of the university. Dr. Amina replaces the late Governor, Bank of Uganda, Professor Tumusiime Mutebire, who served as the founding Chancellor of the International University of East Africa from 2010 to 2022.
Former Kenyan Cabinet Secretary Dr. Amina Chawahir Mohammed has been installed Chancellor of the International University of East Africa. A lawyer by profession, Dr. Amina Chawahir expressed her commitment to taking IUEA to greater heights, emphasizing the need to invest in quality education, research, and innovation to produce graduates who are not only competent, but also socially responsible.
When I looked at IUEA, I saw a young, dynamic university, a university that's willing to push the frontiers of knowledge, a university moving with the times, striving to be the technological university of choice in our continent and hopefully beyond. And doing that through providing an excellent education that includes practical experiences and skills.
The new Chancellor also highlighted on the importance of partnerships and collaboration with other universities, industries, and organizations in advancing the university's academic and research agenda.
UBC is a university that's open to working collaboratively with you. We believe in knowledge sharing for the benefit of the community, for the benefit of humanity. To this end, I hail the partnerships that we've had with Busitema University for Agriculture and Mining, and recently the Wuhan University for Carbon Credits and Satellite Remote Sensing.
She noted that she would ensure the university offers education that includes practical experiences and skills for students. The IUEA Vice Chancellor, Professor Emeka Akaizua, said the university has for many years led in innovation and coming up with solutions that impact the community positively.
So we provide excellent education here, and we partner private sector to bring additional skills, real-world skills, into the classroom, so that by the time our students are ready to go out into the world, they have acquired excellent theoretical skills as well as practical skills. So that is who we are at IUEA.
The ceremony was attended by various dignitaries from the academic, political and corporate worlds, including the Kenyan High Commissioner to Uganda, the Chief Justice Alfonso Winyidolo, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees for the university.
We expect the Chancellor to move the university into a new era and prepare our students for the new market demands and jobs of the 21st century. Notice that we prepare our students to succeed. We prepare them to be successful in life after the university.
Ambassador Dr. Amina Chawahil Mohammed is the executive director of UNEP, a lawyer and a diplomat of Somali descent. She formerly served as the Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Heritage and Culture in Kenyan World Health Organization, also was ranked number 6 among the top 100 reputable Africans. Mary Namkose, Joel Vubia, UBC News.
Residents in Kabale municipality are currently uncertain of the proposal by government to upgrade the municipality to city status. Now, this follows differing statements from some government officials on the same matter. Kabale municipality was in May 2019 included among the municipalities that would be elevated to city status in 2023. Have more details in this story.
Kabale district leaders are seeking for a clear explanation about the planned city status of Kabale municipality. They claim that there have been differing statements issued by different leaders over the anticipated creation of Kabale city, leaving locals confused. A cabinet minister from the area allegedly told a congregation at one of the churches in the municipality that the much anticipated Kabale city will not be realized.
Itaba finance tukabura President Museveni kandi nawe twikirizingana nawe mwezi site zinenshoboza kushaka tayari mutasi ayona sana kuleta ngasita ngoyondereho memba wa parliament ndijo ngoyondereho manyamu disitero ndineya kebyo nemishoro ngeni President Yoweri Museveni twayikirizine nawe ebya city n'ezindi administrative units tubite harubaye ngenu ababalenze city mugabwe kamaraze kurona karukawe mu constituency.
The Ministry for Local Government, which is responsible for operationalizing the remaining 5 cities, has not received any communication from the head of state to change the position of parliament that was approved in 2020. Kabale Municipality Mayor Emmanuel Biamugisha Central says that Kabale Municipality deserves a city status to foster development of Chigezi.
Because it brings with it brings services, it improves on the infrastructure of the area, and also attracts investors and other businesses. So we still need this city, and as people who believe in development, as people who want to see Kigezi develop, then this city must be supported, and we appeal to the president that he should not listen to few voices. He should listen to a bigger, wide coverage of the Kigezi region, the Kigezi people. We still need this city.
Some leaders and analysts from Chigezi disclosed that they expect the government to come up with a clear stand on the issue.
He stated it. I think most of us who were in part of the audience and the public, we think it was not the right time for the minister to mention such a statement before the public. First of all, we are not sure whether he was delegated by the right Minister of Local Government to share with the public such, or if it was a cabinet stand and delegated to come and tell the people of Chigezi that Kabale will not be a city to govern.
Of course, when we are looking at all these individuals interpret these things in different ways, because the Honorable Lugazi is a beneficiary of Kabale City. Kabale City is for Kigezi region. He is a citizen of Kigezi region. He is a leader in Kigezi region. Maybe he is against it individually himself. But even if he was,
That's not the procedure. We don't expect it to be done like that. He's actually supposed to table it to Parliament if he feels he doesn't want it, but not to come to the beneficiaries, to the citizens, and he starts telling them that we forget about it, you will not get it.
The other 25 municipalities to be upgraded to city status come 2025, including Moroto, Masaka and Wakiso. The cities that started operation effectively on July 1st, 2020 include Arua, Gulu, Jinja, Mbarara, Fort Portal, Masaka and Mbale.
Rukiga Resident District Commissioner Fred Nayebare has banned bricklaying activities in Rushebea Kanyabaha wetland, which covers 5.47 square kilometers. Nayebare made the declaration while presiding over the handover of planting materials to 324 farmers who are in communities next to the wetland.
District Commissioner Fred Nayebare has banned bricklaying activities in Rushebea Kanyabaha wetland. The wetland covers 5.47 kilometers. Nayebare made the declaration while presiding over a handover of planting materials to 324 farmers who are in communities next to the wetland. The materials donated by the International Crane Foundation, a local NGO in the area, included 25,920 kilograms of Irish potato seedlings and 32,400 bean seeds. Nayebare explained that they will stop bricklayers from destroying the wetland since it is of great value to the district.
Omuchanga chitu hali hababe baratera amatafari konga twabahikiraho twabegesa twikirizana nabo kugira ngo batashisha umwanya gwo mu rubaju gwo rusharara kugira ngo entuhe zitu zibonaho kuzalira twikirizana turareba ibintu biri kugenda misho nabo bari kwitwikiriza kugira ngo ebyo buhangwa bya.
During the same function, conservation agreements were signed between communities and International Crane Foundation. The International Cranes Foundation Field Officer Fiona Orishaba said the conservation agreements will go a long way to help conserve the wetland for the survival of grey-colored crested cranes.
So these conservation agreements are not to take us to court, but they help us to see and monitor how the community groups do the conservation actions, and us as International Crane Foundation and Endangered Wildlife Trust fulfill our obligations and our promise so that we do the conservation of the crested crane and the wetlands, specifically the Rushebea Kanyabaha wetland conserved, where we get safe water for our households.
Nayebare appealed to the beneficiaries to sustainably use the donated planting materials to develop their household income.
Turabona kulinda rusharara twinema abantu enyanga bitahe zirija zikoswa rusharara zikashisha amahuri gentuha konke byo byona turimo kubirwanisa kugira ngo ibyo buhangwa byagenda mu misho n'abarahinga mu rusharara bakamarayo kwika aho murindi gura hamizigararaba turagezaho kubegesa kugira ngo basigeho akanya kugira ngo ntuhe zitu zibonaho kuzalira.
Some of the beneficiaries said they are now committed to conserving the environment and teaching other community members amid several challenges they face.
The State Minister for Kampala, Kabuye Chofatogabye, has cautioned youth against greed, which is a precursor to mushrooming sexual immorality practices in the world. Kabuye was officiating the passing out of 400 patriots at Butabika School of Psychiatric Nursing.
400 nurses from Butabika School of Psychiatric Nursing have completed a one-week patriotism training. State Minister for Kampala, Kabuye Chofatogabye, officiated the send-off and warned them to desist from the greed for money.
Because it is through that some of you are driven into ungodly and unfortunate acts, including lesbianism, homosexuality, and others. But that comes because of love for money. Please always think about yourself and do the right things at the right time.
Addressing the trainees, Nakawa East Member of Parliament, Engineer Ronald Balimwezo, asked government to come up with means of reducing tuition fees of psychiatric nurses, as most of them cannot afford them.
Today you are here for training so that you can be relevant people who are going to work in that ministry that God has given you. Because mental health is a very important aspect. This is the only institution that we have. But when you look at the cost of what a student pays, it's enormous. A child cannot manage, a poor child cannot manage.
The head of communications from the National Secretariat of Patriotism Clubs of Uganda, Major Batarina Itwe, has applauded youth for embracing patriotism trainings.
That people have realized that they need to train. Before that, people are saying and thinking we cannot train patriotism. It is not trained. That you can't be trained to love your country. Others thought it was about politics. Uganda is here. Political parties have come and they will go, but the country, motherland, Uganda, is here for all of us.
The principal of Butabika School of Psychiatric Nursing, Harriet Kwagala, raised the need for more psychiatric nurses, basing on the rise of mental illness cases in the country.
As we realize that mental health challenges and problems have increased in our communities, and we need such workforce to help us care for people's mental well-being. Because you cannot be in a complete health state unless if the mental aspect is well taken care of. So we need more schools of this kind.
The Executive Director of Butabika Hospital, Juliet Naku, thanked the National Secretariat for Patriotism and asked government to include patriotism on the national curriculum.
This information, which I think is particularly important for young people who are going out to be leaders of tomorrow, to be patriots for this country, should be integrated into our curriculum. There's no better way to teach patriotism than to teach it in school to young people. So I'd like to request that this program be integrated into the curriculum so that it is part and parcel of the timetable of students.
Mary Namgose, UBC News.
Mayuge District leadership has also released a comprehensive report of education progress in the district. The report has covered the past year and includes results from primary and post-primary education institutions. Let's have a look.
Mayuge District Education Committee has ranked its schools as per excellence from the 2022 Uganda Certificate of Education examination results. It's the reason for celebrations at Kiteza Secondary School in Lugazi that was ranked as second best.
nga isomero bya kutekife kyokuli mu district yaffe y'Ebuyikwe ekyo achievement y'amanyi twatuseeko era nga ntimanyi nti emyaka gino ginagiyongera bityo nga tuli mu kitezanga tukola nga tubadde tukola kiziko okubanga mu myaka 5 oba 3 oba 2 mu maaso kiteze jja kubanga neyefuuse kugamu masomero agogerwako mu Uganda awamu agamaanyi era ne tusaba abazadde gye muli mutuweereza abaana okwongera ku bwe tulina essomero lirabikenga litambulira wamu n'ensoma ennungi ate era n'abaana abalabika nga bangi bwe tulina tusobole okufuna obusobozi obutambuza omulimu gwaffe nga nini ennamba y'abaana mu kitongole tusaba abali wonna bwe mutuleba mujje mu gato Kiteza SS wano e Lugazi.
Lords Med Vocational was number 1 while Meta SS was third.
Now take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business. Stay tuned. You're watching UBC News Tonight.
Sent to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Let me just send.
Yes.
Oh. Accessing your contacts the old way.
Yeah.
Accessing your contacts with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to access your favorite contact.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. We'll now take you into the world of business. To start off, the Agribusiness Development Center, in partnership with DFCU Limited and Rabo Foundation, have collaborated with GOPA Worldwide Consultants to implement training for cohorts 2 and 3 of the Business Accelerator Program. This has been done in accordance with Enhancing the Competitiveness of Small and Medium Enterprises project, which is funded by GIZ. For the Business Accelerator program, the business should be registered, have products and services running along youth and gender inclusiveness.
So what we are doing is enhancing, building on what the good business owner is already doing to enable them govern better, to enable them see the aspects of marketing digitally or otherwise that they may not have thought of, financial management, always very key in our spaces, exposure to compliance systems like how do they register their business, are they complying with their tax.
Just like cohort 1 that climaxed early this year, cohort 2 and 3 will integrate key themes of gender and green growth for sustainability within the training modules.
We transfer technology and knowledge from the Netherlands because the Netherlands does a lot with agriculture and works a lot with agriculture. So that's how we are also involved with this project. And the accelerator program works also a lot with women, which also is an important subject for the Netherlands Embassy.
The mandate of ADC is to build agribusiness capacity to bankability and self-sufficiency. This can help businesses realize increased incomes and job creation aligned with the goal of the ECOS project and the DFCU vision to transform lives and businesses.
But we're also mindful of the challenges that come with financing the agriculture sector, including the weather, low yield. So we've extended our partnership to work with the likes of insurance, who provide that support and also insure some of the challenges that come with dealing within the agriculture value chain. But also, most importantly, we've been able to discount our loans to this sector. So we provide loans depending on the need of the customer.
DFCU has purposefully developed various agri-products, such as agri-asset financing, loans for agricultural production, farmer group accounts, business loans and loan savings, among others, and are working with partners who provide guarantee and train farmers within the agriculture ecosystem to improve their capabilities to access funds and utilize them effectively.
And one of the key things that we've seen that has shifted is the shift towards groups and farmer-based organizations that are actually organized. And within that, also the value chains approach. So we follow a pure value chains approach, and risk has greatly been mitigated, and of course the cost of borrowing has significantly come down.
The ECOS project itself targets 1,000 SMEs, 1,000. And we've been able to mobilize 2,050 from all over the world. Very interesting for you. Agnes has also been calling and saying, Jimmy, I want those 1,000. So we mobilized 2,050 SMEs all over the country. And out of these, we are supporting 1,239.
ADC will address cohorts 2 and 3 with a multi-phased approach that includes training, mentorship, coaching, and technical assistance. WADULO, UBC News in Kampala. The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Oyingo, has handed over a brand new tractor that he lobbied from government for Bamunanika Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative Society at a function held at Kakola, Luwero. He asked farmers to get involved in commercial and value addition farming for food security.
State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Oyingo, has handed over a tractor he lobbied for Bamunanika Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative Society to improve their livelihoods. The minister handed over the tractor to the chairman, Bamunanika Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative Society, Sunday Joseph Dodo, at Kakola in Luwero district.
Like people out there to embrace commercial farming so that we are able to prepare enough for the families to eat, prepare enough, even have something for the market.
Relatedly, in the efforts to support small businesses to ensure they continue to earn and improve their welfare, the Health Child aimed at empowering local communities in partnership with the International Labour Organization and Start Improve Your Business have trained them. The Executive Director, Health Child, Betty Walakira, said the 3-day workshop for these market vendors, salon, motorcycle mechanics, among others, is aimed at equipping them with skills to operate their businesses, knowing marketing, among others.
Small and business enterprises who are involved in all kinds of businesses with an objective of training them to improve how they run and operate their businesses. The goal is to ensure that each business is able to earn an income but also make profits that can be used for growing the economy. And our choice for working with small enterprises is driven by the fact that around 80% of our population in Uganda is either involved in private sector or in agriculture.
She added that emphasis of these trainings are the small entrepreneurs because over 80% of the population are involved in private and agricultural sectors. She, however, questioned the youth against job discrimination and emphasizes on vocational skills. The Patron Mothers Union in Kasangati Church of Uganda, Mrs. Kadu, presided over the closing of the 3-day entrepreneur training for economic growth and handed over certificates and encouraged the participants to utilize the skills achieved to move forward. Mary Namkose, Salongo Kasbante, UBC News.
Now, the beneficiaries of Mayuge, a presidential initiative on wealth and job creation in Kapchorwa municipality, have registered success since the program was rolled out in the district. Now, some of whom our reporters interacted with assert that with the seed capital of 30 million offered to them by the government, this has helped them start up jobs through buying more motorcycles.
Motorcycles, and 8 jobs have been created in Kapchorwa.
Boda Boda Mayuge Sacco is one of the 18 SACCOs that have been able to register success, with the 8 Boda Boda bought to curb the problem of unemployment in the Boda Boda industry in Kapchorwa municipality.
Our president talks of there should be money in the pocket, not hand to mouth. Even if you are to be a produce of potatoes in Koti, we should be seeing you transporting some of these potatoes for chips in Kampala, and some remains at home, and money is in the pocket.
Beneficiaries applauded the visionary leadership of President Yoweri Museveni, having thought about the low-income earners with such programs like Mayuge that are intended to relieve them from poverty.
We thank also our district of Kapchorwa for selling the idea to us that what will I show to the president when he comes to Kapchorwa? He said, with the money which is in the bank, we better buy the motorcycles, of which indeed now today we have received the motorcycles. And the entire team, I congratulate you to have come here and officiate the motorcycle officially. We should promise to work hard and keep. Within 1 year, we shall have more motorcycles or more vehicles.
Mayuge SACCOs in Kapchorwa district have registered a success of 70%. Beneficiaries have been applauded for having owned and embraced the presidential initiative on wealth and job creation.
The Boda Boda SACCOs of Kapchorwa district, Kapchorwa municipality, who have embraced Mayuge and actualized the objectives of Mayuge. Mayuge is on ground. There are many people who say Mayuge is not there, but you can see the fruits of Mayuge physically because Mayuge is on ground, and we want to thank the president for continuing to love Ugandans by coming up with this very good initiative that is transforming people's lives.
They have the zeal. Actually, when we're mobilizing, they showed a lot of interest. Despite a few challenges, they were still patient until they made sure they achieved. They have not given us headache. If you compare with other regions, I think Kapchorwa is performing better.
Mayuge is part of the bigger government strategy set to eradicate poverty.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabale Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabale deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabale Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
And now in the world of sports, Uganda's women basketball team, the Gazelles, has made it to the finals of the FIBA Zone 5 Women Afro Basketball Qualifiers after edging Rwanda by 8 points with a final score of 78-70. The close game was played this evening at the Lugazi Indoor Stadium, and now Uganda will face Egypt in the final that will be played tomorrow, 19th February 2023, at still the same venue.
Nine years on, the Gazelles have made it to the finals of the FIBA Zone 5 Women Afrobasket Qualifiers. This comes after Uganda came from down to edge Rwanda 78-70 in their last group game played at the Lugazi Indoor Stadium this evening. The Gazelles took charge of the heated game from tip-off, creating a 10-point score margin between them and Rwanda. However, this changed in the third quarter when Rwanda leveled up to Uganda. It was the efforts of player Ekon Brenda in the final minutes of the game that gave Uganda a comeback and eventually a win. Ekon Brenda and Jonano To both made 22 points, Hopakelo 17 points, and other players made single-digit points. Mary Najuma continued shining with her rebound form. Kenya losing to Egypt 82-57 in the earlier game also improved Uganda's chances on making it to the finals.
Girls are happy, they're excited, but they also know that tomorrow is an even bigger battle for them. So we're going to try and relax and also enjoy the game as we do this. I mean, the last time we played the finals was in 2014, so this is a very big deal. And we want to win. We want to qualify for Afro. It's been long since we've been at the Afro, so this is very, very important for the girls, for us, and Uganda as well. It is what we expected in a way, because this game for Rwanda didn't really matter in the qualifications. So it was a bit, the girls were not very focused for this game, I like to think that. So we came from leading to tying the game, and they went above the game, you know. But we told them to stay focused, we told them to play together, to play defense, most especially to play defense so that we can win this game. We have to stay focused, we have to be very disciplined, and we have to play together, and we stick to the game plan. Every time we don't stick to the game plan, this is what happens. So we have to stay very disciplined and focused.
To be back and playing in the championship game, hopefully we can win and bring it home for Uganda. I know what it means for the country to win and to win to qualify. So it's just like, I don't know, you're playing for a country, you're playing for something bigger than yourself. So it's just like really exciting to be out there and fighting with my teammates. Just to keep fighting, like tonight we went down, I think down by 1. We just kept fighting, started playing tougher on defense, just not to quit.
Uganda now takes on Egypt in their final stint for a spot in the FIBA Women Afrobasket Championship that will happen in July. In Rwanda, Kenya will play South Sudan for bronze. The two games will happen at the Lugazi Indoor Stadium tomorrow, the 19th of February 2023, with Kenya versus South Sudan tipping off at 3 p.m. and the final, Uganda versus Egypt, tipping off at 6 p.m. Grace Joyce Kemgisa, UBC News.
Well, congratulations, the Gazelles, and just like you, we too have to keep it to the game plan and sign out. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is WADULO Mark Arnold, and have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.